Welcome to Relaxed Reddit Readings. Today we have 4 Reddit stories for you. Reddit drama that'll make you question your own relationships. Story 1. My husband's female best friend wanted to sit between us. So my husband's female best friend just asked to sit between us in a car, and I'm questioning everything about their friendship. Let me paint you the full picture here. My husband has this female best friend who he talks to constantly through gaming and Discord. We're talking daily conversations, gaming sessions, the whole 9 yards. They've been friends for years, and while I've tried to be the cool, understanding wife about it, she has never once made any effort to be friends with me. Like, she'll chat with him for hours, but when I'm around, I might as well be invisible furniture. Now here's where it gets interesting. We had this group outing planned where we'd all be riding together in someone's car. The seating arrangement came up, and guess what this woman suggests? She wants to sit between my husband and me in the back seat. Not next to one of us, not in the front seat, but literally between a married couple. When my husband told me about this, I was honestly shocked that he was even considering it. I mean, who does that? What married woman asks to sit between a husband and wife? And what husband thinks that's a reasonable request to entertain? I told him there was no way that was happening, and he seemed surprised by how upset I was about it. He said I was being jealous and that it's just a seating arrangement. But here's the thing, it's not just about where someone sits. It's about boundaries and respect. This woman has never shown me any respect as his wife, constantly monopolizes his time and attention, and now wants to literally come between us physically too. I feel like I'm always having to compete for my own husband's attention, and this just felt like another way for her to mark her territory. My husband says I'm overreacting and that she's just his friend, but I can't shake the feeling that her behavior is completely inappropriate. The fact that he couldn't immediately see why this would bother me makes me wonder if I'm the only one who thinks boundaries matter in a marriage. Am I being the jealous wife here, or is this as weird as I think it is? If you're enjoying these stories, hit that like button and let me know in the comments which story you relate to the most. Story 2. I told my mom she can't hold my baby while I eat. My mom just refused to hold my baby so I could eat lunch, and now I'm ready to never eat out with her again. Okay, so here's how this usually works in my family. When we go out to eat, I feed my baby first while everyone else enjoys their meal, and then once they're done eating, someone holds the baby so I can actually eat my food while it's still warm. It's a simple system that's worked perfectly with everyone else in my family. So I'm out to lunch with just my mom the other day, and everything starts normally. I'm feeding my baby while my mom eats her meal, and she finishes everything on her plate. She's just sitting there with a couple sips of coffee left, totally relaxed and done eating. So I ask her, "Hey mom, can you hold the baby so I can eat now?" And she looks at me and says, "No, I don't want to." I'm sorry, what? I had barely touched my food, it was getting cold, and she's just sitting there with nothing left to do but finish her coffee. I was completely taken back because this has never happened before. Everyone in our family just naturally helps out so the person with the baby can actually eat something. I tried to eat one-handed while holding my baby, but anyone who's tried this knows it's basically impossible. My food got cold, I barely ate anything, and I was honestly hurt and frustrated the entire time. When I told my husband about it later, he was just as shocked as I was. He couldn't believe that my own mother would just sit there and watch me struggle to eat while she had nothing else to do. Now I'm seriously considering not going out to eat with my mom anymore if she's going to act like helping with her own grandchild is some huge burden. I mean, I'm not asking her to babysit for hours or change diapers. I'm asking for maybe 15 minutes of holding a baby so I can eat a meal that I paid for. The whole experience just felt so selfish on her part, and it's making me question whether she actually wants to spend time with us or if she just wants the fun parts of being a grandma without any of the actual helping. Is it really too much to ask for a grandmother to hold her grandchild so the mother can eat? Story 3. My sons gave me a Kindle when I just wanted a book. My sons just gave me a Kindle for my birthday, and I returned it because I told them I just wanted a damn book. Now they think I'm ungrateful, but hear me out on this one. I love reading. It's honestly one of my biggest hobbies, and I have an entire room in my house that's basically my personal library. I'm talking wall-to-wall bookshelves filled with actual, physical books that I can touch and smell and flip through. Now, my two sons are super into technology. They're the type of people who think that if something has more features and apps and digital capabilities, it's automatically better than the simple version. They're always trying to get me to download new apps on my phone or upgrade to some smart device that does 17 different things when I just need it to do one thing well. So my birthday comes around, and they're so excited to give me this present. They hand me this box, and it's a Kindle. They're going on and on about how I can carry thousands of books with me anywhere, how I can adjust the font size, how I can highlight and take notes digitally. They thought they were solving all my reading problems with this amazing piece of technology. But here's the thing, I don't have reading problems. I work on a computer all day long for my job. When I get home, the last thing I want to do is stare at another screen, even if it's supposedly easier on the eyes. I want to disconnect from technology, not add more of it to my relaxation time. There's something about holding a real book, turning actual pages, and being completely unplugged that helps me unwind from my day. I tried to explain this to them, but they kept insisting that I'd love it if I just gave it a chance. They said I was being stubborn and resistant to change. But why should I have to change something that already works perfectly for me? So I returned the Kindle and used the money to buy several actual books that I'd been wanting to read. When I told my sons what I did, they were hurt and said I was being ungrateful and difficult. But I don't think wanting to stick with something I genuinely prefer makes me difficult. Am I wrong for wanting to keep my hobbies simple and tech-free? Story 4. I made fun of my neighbor's voice after she mocked mine. So I just made fun of my 30-something neighbor's voice, and now I'm wondering if I went too far, even though she started it. Let me give you some context here. I'm 14, and I have this naturally high-pitched voice that I absolutely hate. I've always been super insecure about it because people sometimes tell me I sound fake, but I genuinely can't control it. When I try to make my voice deeper, it sounds even weirder, so I'm kind of stuck with it. About 2 weeks ago, this woman moved into the apartment below me. She seems to be in her 30s, so definitely a full-grown adult. We had our first real conversation, and I immediately noticed something weird happening. Every time I spoke, she would either giggle or smirk, like something about my voice was amusing to her. At first, I thought maybe I was imagining it, but it kept happening throughout our conversation. Fast forward to yesterday, and I ran into her again in the hallway. We started talking about something completely normal, but again, every single time I said anything, she'd get this little smirk on her face or let out a small laugh. It was so obvious that she was making fun of how I sound, and it was making me feel terrible about something I'm already insecure about. Finally, I'd had enough. When she started talking, I noticed that she has this really nasally, kind of whiny voice. So I started mimicking her tone and speaking in the same nasally way she does. Her face immediately changed, and she asked me what I was doing. I told her I was just talking the same way she talks, and asked her how it felt to have someone make fun of her voice. She got really offended and said I was being rude and immature. I told her that she'd been doing the exact same thing to me, laughing at my voice every time we talked. She denied it and said I was being ridiculous, but I could tell she knew exactly what I was talking about. Now I'm sitting here wondering if I handled this wrong. Yeah, I'm 14 and she's an adult, but does that really give her the right to make fun of how I sound? I mean, she's literally twice my age and picking on a teenager's voice. But maybe I should have been the bigger person and just ignored it instead of stooping to her level. What do you think? Was I justified in giving her a taste of her own medicine? If you enjoyed these stories, drop a comment telling me which one was your favorite. And if you want more relaxed Reddit readings, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed these stories, like, comment and subscribe for more relaxed Reddit readings.